Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing the 2 or 3 most common issues with stabilizers and the usage of them. And so hopefully this will be able to help you figure out what your problem is, and even if there's no solution that you can, a fix that you can do for it, at least you'll know what to say to the company when you contact them, and at least you'll know that the problem is there, and you'll know that you definitely want to get a refund, because a lot of people have faulty units and they never get a refund because they're not sure if it's them doing something wrong or whether it's the manufacturer doing something wrong. So first of all, watch my balancing tutorial if you haven't seen that. There'll be a link down below, and I will have a video explaining how I use it and how how I sort of shoot with it, but I'll discuss that quickly in this video as well. So okay, the 3 most common issues with stabilizers is first of all, users not using them properly. So for example, you could be holding this part too tight, which is going to cause sort of left-right shake. Could be a badly designed unit. For example, a unit that has these things too close to the actual pole here, and then that's not always going to cause a problem. Really depends on how good the bearing is, but you can improve that by extending these weights out, which I have found that even on really good stabilizers improves the performance. So definitely something I'd recommend doing. And then another common user mistake is not balancing it properly. So again, check the video down below for balancing. And of course, not walking properly. So you could be doing this with your body as you're walking if you're not bending your knees enough. So again, another possible issue. And a very common one, like again, is holding this part too tightly. You really want to have it floating in the air, and your hand should just be controlling it very mildly. And by the way, this is going to be part of my ebook, which will be completely free to download, but it's not ready yet. And I'm making this chapter as a video because it's a bit too complicated to actually explain in writing. So once that's ready, there'll be a link down below. Okay, so let's get to the actual problems with the unit itself. So most common problem is bad oil. The oil here is too thick. I've posted a video explaining how I change the oil in my units if I need to, because some manufacturers have no idea why, but they use really thick grease, and that thick grease is causing friction. The way you test that is you just set it up so it's pointing straight, and then you turn the handle either this way or that way, or you just hold it there and you just walk around it. Do a full, just walk around your unit while holding the handle. So you'll see how much this thing follows your handle. So let's say you do this, and then this thing spins after it and sort of wants to follow it. That's thick oil. So even if technically it feels smooth, if when you do this, it follows you, the more it follows you, the worse it is. So there's always going to be some friction, but you want it to be as low as possible. Ideally, if you get a really, really good unit, you can do a full turn around the unit and it's not going to follow you at all. Something you can do to improve that, which isn't changing the oil, is bringing your weight further out. And in your footage, what that's going to look like if you have that problem is it's going to be going left and right like that. You're going to have these unwanted left and right sort of shakes from the camera. And as you can see with this one, because my weights are so far outwards, I actually, even if I want to make it shake in that direction, it doesn't want to because the weights are so far out. So yeah, they just have that, they're just holding because they're further away. And another thing you can do if you don't have any way of bringing the weights further out is to simply put the additional weights that you have on and then balance it. So for example, with this unit, I could balance it, I could set this up like that and have this thing down here. And so it's a really big, long unit with the handle at the top, with a lot less weight at the bottom. And what less weight at the bottom means is it also means less weight on the side, and you want as much weight at the side as you can. And so the simplest fix for the simplest thing that will help that left-right bad oil issue is to have your weights as high up as you can and your handle as low down as you can while still keeping the unit balanced. So as you can see right now, I can balance the unit like this. Again, you can see my balancing tutorial on in the link down below, but let's say roughly balance it like this. So right now the unit is actually balanced, but with this thing in the center with all the weights that came with this unit rather than just one weight or no weights at all, which I would have to use if it was this far away from the handle. So that's another fix. And then okay, so and of course changing the oil is a possible fix, and I've made a video about that, and of course if you don't do that properly you could damage the unit, but personally I haven't damaged anything from changing the oil because I just do it properly and safely and make sure that I don't get it wet for a long time, that sort of thing. You know, make sure that I dry it if it gets wet, dry it off really well. So next up is an issue with the actual unit itself, where you would balance it like this and then move the handle to the other side, and a lot of people don't know how to test for this, but this is how you test. And basically you move the handle to the other side and suddenly your unit does this, and then you move the handle back to here and your unit goes back to being straight again. That's how you test whether you have a bad bearing in there, meaning that the actual gimbal, sorry, not the bearing, the gimbal system is wonky or something isn't straight there, which is causing it to do that. So with GlideCam HD, those are the only ones that I know of that will allow you to actually fine tune with a little screw thing, with a little Allen key, allow you to fine tune that and perfectly adjust your balance, your gimbal's balancing abilities. But with other units, if you have that problem and if it's bad, the solutions are either to bring your unit's weight further down away from the handle and away from the camera to make it more bottom heavy. And of course the way that you check that is your drop time. How long does it take to drop? So a quicker drop time will help to sort out that issue of the gimbal actually being wonky or not accurately manufactured. And so that's like just the simplest fix, is you just do that. The other thing you could do is send it back to the manufacturer. There is a possible fix that was done for flycam units. Someone figured it out, that they took weights and actually glued them to the side of this part right here in the correct place, and then that allowed them to then actually use the unit properly and not have that issue. But I don't consider that a proper fix because it could fall off, and it's kind of difficult to actually do, to figure out exactly how much weight you need, etc. So you know, you can search on YouTube for that fix. I'll put a link down below if I can find it, but it's not something I recommend. But other than that, you know, you should maybe send it back to the manufacturer or to the seller that you bought it from. So those are the most common problems, and other than that, something fairly simple, but a lot of people make that mistake, is they have things dangling off their cameras, a strap, or they have autofocus turned on, which is of course going to be moving glass inside there, or anything like that, where something is able to move and then change the way that it's balanced, and then suddenly the system isn't balanced properly, and that sort of thing. So you definitely want to have all moving parts not moving. So turn off autofocus, remove any sort of straps, or if you do want to leave some sort of strap thing on, like for example right here, just these things, they can move, but I just held them in place so they don't move with just a little elastic band thing, a little hairband. And okay, so those are the common issues with stabilizers, and I hope I've gone over everything. I hope that I've answered your question with regards to what are the solutions for the most common issues with stabilizers. And you can find more information about this subject in my free ebook, which, if it's already out, you'll find a link down below. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!